You're listening to the My Simplified Life podcast, and this is episode number 99. Welcome to the My Simplified Life podcast, a place where you will learn that your past and even your present don't define your future. Regardless of what stage of life you're in, I want you to feel inspired and encouraged to pursue your dreams, simplify your life, and start taking action today. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, and I'm excited to share my stories and life lessons with you while taking you on my own journey. This is My Simplified Life. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac. Last month, I sent an email out with my thoughts on whether you should pay for an interview. I have a lot of thoughts around this, as do a lot of my publicist friends, and I received a response from Devika asking me to dedicate an entire episode to just this topic. Let's start with what the email said. Should you pay for a podcast or media interview? No, no, no. Never, ever pay to play, whether for a podcast interview or a media interview. It can actually end up hurting your reputation and your brand. There are some Yahoo top coaching articles out there that you have to pay $500 to get into. I've received the pitch for it, and I've seen people I actually know pay for it. Instead, pay a publicist to get you in outlets that is earned media, places people actually rely on to bring them knowledge and expertise. In 2021, I've gotten my clients on Hello Giggles, Yahoo Life, Insider, Mind Body Green, Men's Health, Pop Sugar, Eat This, Not That, The Huffington Post, Cosmopolitan, Associated Press, Parade, and more. This didn't cost us any money. This was all based on my relationships with the journalists and with the knowledge of my clients. Please don't ever pay for an interview. Trust me on this. And don't trust a publicist who tells you otherwise. Now, do you get the sense from the tone of my email that I'm anti-pay to play? Because friends, I certainly am, and I'm not the only one. I hang out on Twitter quite a bit with my PR colleagues and journalists, and the overall consensus is that no one should pay for an interview. You can pay for advertising, but there's a huge lack of authenticity when people find out that you've paid to be quoted or interviewed. Now let's start with what earned media is. There are two ways to land your name in the press. The first is being proactive and pitching your story and expertise to journalists. You've got something impressive to share, or you've recently received an award or a huge promotion and you want the word to get out. You can issue a press release and send it out, or you can utilize your unique story and pitch directly to a journalist, along with backup data and sources on why this is relevant right now. Another way is to be reactive in your approach. You can subscribe to HARO, which is Help a Reporter Out, and check out the stories that journalists are currently writing and looking for sources on. You can then pitch yourself to them and explain why you're the expert on that certain topic. Both of these are great ways to get your name out there and showcase you as an expert and authority. If you have a publicist, then you're paying that person to do all of this legwork for you. But the interview, quote, or mention is all free. When I speak about pay to play, it's exactly what it sounds like it is. It's paying to get your name out there. This is a lot like paying for advertising, but it's not. This isn't a commercial on TV that we know someone paid for. This is slimy. It says that you probably aren't that much of an expert at whatever it is you think you are, but if you pay someone some money, you'll appear to be an authority. Lately, I've gotten a lot of DMs and emails about paying to be in Yahoo's top, whatever it is that they're promoting, coaches, financial experts, it goes on. The other day in my Facebook feed, I saw a friend announcing how proud they are to have been named one of Yahoo's top 10 coaches. I wanted to slam my head on the desk. Are you proud of the fact that you paid $500 to be named that? Because it was pretty much open for anyone willing to pay that money and guaranteed you to be named a top 10. Knowing this, doesn't it make you think twice about some of these placements? I follow Jason Pfeiffer, editor-in-chief of Entrepreneur Magazine on LinkedIn, and he shared the other day that a publicist reached out to him and offered to pay all kinds of money in order to land their client on the cover of Entrepreneur. Not only was Jason disgusted by this and completely opposed to it, but he blacklisted the woman being pitched from ever appearing within Entrepreneur Magazine. Talk about cancel culture. That's huge, and it goes to show you that money isn't everything when it comes to the media. Yes, I get that sounds pretty funny, especially these days, but there are still some of us with ethics and morals who are in this industry and working hard to keep it honest. Now let's chat not just about digital media outlets, but podcasts as well. I can remember when I first pitched to Entrepreneurs on Fire and they came back saying, "Sure, we'll interview your client for $3,500. My jaw dropped. No wonder why John's monthly income just in July was $280,000. He's figured out a huge way to monetize his podcast. Recently, I heard that Jenna Kutcher of the Gold Digger podcast has started charging $10,000 for an interview on her show. That's a ton of money. And let me be the first to tell you that a podcast doesn't cost nearly that much to produce. Not even a fraction of that amount. What you're paying for is to have your name associated with these people, to have it mentioned in an email that goes out to their subscribers. But what else can you do with 10 grand? You could use it for true advertising and Facebook or Instagram ads. You could hire a publicist to pitch you to a ton of outlets and not just land one interview. Not only that, but you could actually focus on your target audience. Something that we need to remember is that big numbers don't always translate to big profits. Just because you get on a show that, say, has 10,000 downloads an episode doesn't mean that those 10,000 listeners are your people. Let's say you sell an accessory for an electric car. Well, how many of those 10,000 listeners actually own an electric car? Here in California, as of 2020, less than 3% of households had an electric car. So chances are not many listeners are going to be the ones you want to talk to because they won't want to buy your product. They can't even buy it or use it. Let's flip this now and say you hired a publicist, me for example. I'm going to get to work and find every kind of environmental friendly, electric car oriented podcast there is and pitch you to them. Now your chances of getting in front of your ideal audience is exponential because the listeners of these shows are interested in what you have to say and offer. Your interview has a real chance at turning into a profit and giving you a return on your investment. In addition to interviews, there are also awards that you can pay for. These days, a lot of awards cost money to simply put your name in the hat. Personally, I'm against paying for any of these things because there are still awards that you can earn for free. Another one of my big pet peeves with paying for any of this is that when you land earned media in one of these outlets, people might be left wondering if you paid for it or if you actually did earn it. I've got 2 examples for you on this. The first is that I have a client that landed not 1, but 2 interviews in Yahoo Life. We didn't pay for it. And it even included a video portion and was promoted alongside some big stars. But, and here's the big but, did people assume we paid for it because Yahoo's promoting the pay-to-play spots? Possibly, and that makes the feature a little less exciting. I was recently named one of Silicon Valley Business Journal's top 40 under 40. Knowing that a lot of awards include an entry fee, I was asked how much I paid for the nomination. After I picked my jaw up off the floor, I replied, none. I didn't pay a single penny for the nomination or the award. Now, do you see how this pay-to-play makes the earned media a bit less exciting at times? Let's stop chasing the bright and shiny objects. Not everything in life is going to cost you exorbitant amounts of money or money at all. You need to recognize where your money is best spent, especially as a business owner. I love being transparent with you all, and I'll let you in on a secret. I've never spent a single dime on an ad. My business has been based on networking and referrals. It's grown organically. I've never paid for an interview or media placement. I've earned them both for myself and my clients. I'm damn proud of that, and I say this so that you know it's possible for you too. There is absolutely no reason why you should ever spend money on an interview, feature, or award. Spend time honing in on your expertise and your story, and this is what's going to land your name in lights. It's what's going to have journalists coming to you to be the source for a quote. Be the thought leader you are and do it with integrity. I promise you that it will be worth it and it will propel you forward in the end. As always, thank you for spending this time with me, and until next week, save your pennies, use your time and money wisely, and work hard on creating genuine relationships that will help you grow as a person and in your business.